Rob Fletcher, Muscle and Fitness Plus. We are here at Eminent Wellness today in Scottsdale with Mark Cottom, founder. Over the weekend, you experienced the best of the best speaking about your health, your wellness at the Complete Circle of Care Good Life Festival. Today we came by because he has so many amazing things happening here. Can't wait to show you what Mark is doing to improve your life.
I'm Dr. Brandon Dewees. I'm Dr. Patrick Porter.
Owner of Eminent Wellness, Mark Cottom. How are you guys doing?
Ryan today, Science Director for Relax Saunas.
So what are we doing here, Doc?
So we're measuring his nervous system. This is the owner, and he's basically proving to us that his system is bulletproof here. I mean, it's awesome. We're looking at a panel. Every line you see is actually a heartbeat, and when you see the variation, almost like a city skyline, that's a perfect HRV. So in between there's 7 different frequencies that his heart is putting out. And what we did with our software is we can extrapolate those out into things that we'll show you once he's done. We can kind of go through his reading if you want, and then you can cut it out and share. But we don't see this with most people. We don't see anything over 25%. Because when they come in, now if somebody's a professional athlete we see sometimes with bodybuilders even, we don't see good readings because they have too much muscle mass. They don't have enough blood flow circulation to handle that. But he's got hyperbaric here. He's got red light therapy. He's got BrainTap. He's got frequency training. He's got infrared. I mean, he's got the whole package here. And so we're just kind of testing him to see where he's at. His baseline is awesome. So we'll see what happens. It'd be probably better if we weren't all looking at him and evaluating him too. So that usually has a little bit of a damper. So we're going to get 300 heartbeats. Actually, since everybody moved in the room, he went from being a 45 heartbeats per minute up to 54. So we've had a little bit of a stress response on him, but that's fine. Still doing great. And then we'll kind of go through a little mini reading here. And we can compare him to someone his age. We'll see what his biological age is here today instead of his chronological age. So we're almost done. 8 more heartbeats. That's all you got to do.
300?
300, yeah. And then we'll get 300 heartbeats. And then what we're doing is through the RR function of the heart, between the heartbeats, your body is actually generating all these frequencies that are telling their body what to do. And actually at the rate of about every 40 seconds, actually in science, they'll say that you're getting an epigenetic change at every DNA strand. So your environment, so like when you're laying in the bed, you're in the light bed, you're changing every 40 seconds you're in there, your body is adapting to that. When you're in the infrared saunas, your body's adapting to that. When you're listening to BrainTap, your body's adapting to that. When you're in hyperbaric, your body's adapting to that. And what we're looking at is what is the adaptation? Is it positive or negative? And sometimes people have to go backwards before they go forwards because their body's not in good shape. So come on around here and we'll show you what it is, and you can take them off now. Maybe if you can put them back in here so I have to go to ASU here. So we're looking, this is just a panel that we look at, and as you get good at reading these, you'll look at this panel and know if you should show them the after, because some clients you don't want to show them
What's
the
my
after.
C? Why is that only 99?
Well, that's
Get that back up to 100.
We'll talk to So we look here.
Long weekend.
See, I told you that most people are red right now still, but you have 15,000, and that's actually mislabeled because I had to load a different piece of software. That should say power resources. He's down to should be, when we look over here, if what'll happen is as he practices this and does the therapies, this is only the before. If you went and did a BrainTap right now, we were able to measure him, he would be here. Give me the little cap that's on there. Yeah. And when we look here, the green is parasympathetic, yellow is sympathetic, red is neurohormonal. And when you get a third, that means your body's regulating perfectly. So that's not uncommon that someone would be here. And then this number here, when Mike Tyson says everybody has a plan until they get hit, the lower the number, the better. You're below the number, that's good. So that means that you're able to, that's why you're a business owner or a serial entrepreneur, is because you can handle the stress. A lot of people can't be an entrepreneur because they can't handle the stress of it. You can move to that. When we look here at the neurohormonal system, you're at 99%. So that's awesome. So you're already in the top percent. This is what happened when we did the Brazil study where we showed we beat out opioids in 3 different studies. the professor at the pharmaceutical college came over and saw this. He goes, "How are you getting that?" So he wanted to prove this wrong. He proved it right. These numbers, now we're not telling you which neurotransmitter is being produced. He did in the study we're going to be coming out with here at the end of April. But your body upregulated, because when you go through those, when your body's working right, and we'll look at your brain waves are what's telling your body to create those neurotransmitters. If your body's out of balance, your brain waves are out of balance, you won't make those, and you'll have depression, anxiety, stress disorders, because it's controlled by your brain. And this is one of the ways. This is catabolic, anabolic. So you're bringing in your metabolism, really, your energy resources is at 380, which would be in the top percent again. So you're bringing 194 units of energy, you're burning 186. So you've got good metabolism. Metabolism is a sign of good health. We look here at your brain, you're at 100% psycho-emotional. What that means is that your brain in the hippocampus area, you have great energy there, so you can get information. Most people, when they say they have a senior moment, it's really the stress on the hippocampus, because you go, "I know your name," you know it's there, but that stress locks it from you knowing it, and really it's blood flow restriction, because just like we have stress if we tighten our fist, that's happening in the brain. So the more light therapy you do here, the more hyperbarics you do here, you're bringing in vasodilation, blood flow circulation, all those things, improving nitric oxide release, all those things that you want to do. Now your brain, I don't know what it was before you started doing all this therapy, but you're still 46% delta. So like if you were my client, I'd say, we need to get you doing more SMR training. That's the morning sessions. Because your brain, you're probably able to go really deep and relax, but now we need to teach your brain to engage. And this is the one, as you get better looking and more intelligent with age, this is the one that atrophies. So we got to work on that. And this is the one, this is a better profile than we usually see starting out. But that's why we show people when they go, "Do I have to do this every day?" I say, if you don't, you're going to keep reverting back. So every day when you do BrainTap, you're going to start building that profile until you can have like what even myself, I'm not perfect every morning, but after I do BrainTap, I can get it back there because stress happens.
And it's the day after a huge show.
Yeah. So right now, instead
the
of
brain
being,
does want to be asleep.
your coherence, the way your heart, which actually has the capacity to communicate twice as much to the rest of the body as the body does to the heart. So the heart is the conductor. Think of it like the bass drum of the body. It's telling your brain what to do. It's telling your gut what to do. You have 100% information. So that means there's no blockages in the information. We don't see that very often. I mean, really, probably the average score we see there with a client is below 30. They're not coherent. Their body,
right.
Yeah. And then your age, instead of being 43, you came in as a 29-year-old, which is awesome.
Anti-aging.
Yeah. So then when we look here, you're at, remember I told you if this gets to 80%, you're going to do some home care, you're at 100%. You're 44% better than someone your age. And these are pretty much 100% across the board. That's what we just looked at. When we look at your spine, spinal flow, even though we didn't do an adjustment, we're not doing physical, we're talking about energy. You're 100% so your brain communicating to all the organs of the body. In India, they have a saying, you're only as young as your spine is flexible. But I think what they're really trying to say is you're only as young as your spine is able to give energy to the rest of the body, because your spine's the keyboard of the brain. And if it's not working, doesn't matter what else is going on. You can think it, but if it can't get down to the body, that's why we work so much with chiropractors. Because some people, we can't adjust you by doing this, but if you're already in alignment, now we can get that flow going through. And when we work with our chiropractors, if we saw a blockage down here, they could do a technique, and then they do a rescan, and they would see that it changed. Because the chiropractors do a lot of what BrainTap does, or we do what they do, however you want to think about it. Because if you've ever seen an adjustment, the brain lights up, and then it reorganizes and for at least a couple of minutes, it's balanced. And then depending upon the person's behaviors and stress, and if they walk out of the car and do this, that's why we're working with chiropractors after the adjustment to do a BrainTap, because we proved it about 30 to 40%, depending upon the adjustment, lasting. Because you got to make it stick. That's where the neuroplasticity happens. So whatever they do here, I would make BrainTap last, because then all this neuroplasticity they're doing, because that's really what you're doing here is you're building neuroplasticity or nervous system plasticity, however you want to think about it.
Bioplasticity.
Yeah, and it's all about choices, getting the body more choices, more ability to adapt, improvise. So that's really good. So here in America, we look at the spine. In India, we look here at the chakras, and you can see you got a few your heart chakra's 100, your all these ones, but these all correlate to the same information as the spine. It's just the way we look at it. We do a lot of work with the Ames Institute in India, so they look at it this way. They look at chakras. So you're doing good there. And then when we look at, and this is the way that Chinese look at it, it's called meridians, right? So when you're doing any of the therapy in here that's opening up meridians, we can see that here, and you're really good. You're in the top % of all of those. We don't see that very often either. So nowadays, what you're going to see when your patients come in is this pericardium, the triple heater, and the heart are going to be devastated. And then you're going to say, did you take the vaccine or did you have COVID? And they're going to say yes, every time, because it's attacking the heart. It's, you know, for some reason, that's whether it was designed or it was by accident. That's a lot of people are having, you know, the adult sudden death syndrome. That's what they're calling it. It's like
Died suddenly is our new normal.
yeah, it's not a thing. But when we do the research with you and the vets, when we're doing in here, this is the real numbers. So in science, they look at the numbers, right? They don't want to see all those graphics. What I did was I took this program, and we would get all these numbers, which are really good when you're doing research. But when you show that to a patient, their eyes glaze over and they go brain dead. But we show them the pictures. Now they know, hey, here's your brain. And when we look at the brain even, you can see the different levels of it. Most of your people will come in here in the last 2 quadrants. They have no energy in their brain. What they're doing is they're caffeinating, sugaring, you know, geeking themselves up on energy drinks and coffee and different things like that. And they synthetically feel good. But the reality is that the infinite resource is our body. Our body can move energy. So if we're able to process the sympathetic, parasympathetic, and regulate like you can, you're gonna have energy all day long. Now, like I was talking earlier, in the middle of the day, the reason we have 3 different sessions for BrainTap is the morning you want to condition the brain to have more SMR, sensory motor rhythm. That's the balance that we lose as we get older, but it's really a function of the brain. If we keep that brainwave going, you won't lose your balance. In the middle of the day when your temperature drops 2 degrees, that's because our bodies are designed to take a nap, because they're designed for the Serengeti, not for Phoenix, Arizona, even though it's a lot like it. You know, so we're supposed to be sleeping next to the zebra saying, wow, we made it another day, the lion didn't get us, you know. But what we do is we take coffee or tea and we do that. And then what happens in the evening is, because most people, 2/3 of the world isn't sleeping, we created a whole series for sleep called Delta programs. You just put those on, go to sleep. You can use your earbuds only if you want. If you did that for over the next 21 days, once you get the software, you'll see your brain will be perfect anytime during the day, because you're conditioning your brain for different. It's not like there's one brainwave profile that's good all the time. It's like if you were doing work or working out, it would look totally different than this, because you're stressing out the body and you're doing the work. But then when you recover, it should go back to the normal range. You know, and you could also, I mean, if you had somebody on EEG inside the hyperbaric, you would see a stress response at first, but it's the adaptation that's going to create the healing. So this will show you pre and post the adaptation.
That's pretty
Those are the you're talking about. Just like the REM cycle. The REM cycle is a 90-minute deep sleep cycle, 20-minute light sleep cycle. But when we wake up, it doesn't stop that cycle. And it's not a circadian rhythm. It's actually an ultradian rhythm. Ultra for mini, DN for day, circa once per day. So these rhythms like you're saying, once we wake up, we have a 90-minute performance cycle, 20-minute rest and repair. 90-minute performance, 20-minute rest and repair. But it could be 75 minutes and 120 minutes. Everybody's body's different. So understanding, so what you're saying is by doing that, you're balancing it out.
This is the largest freestanding hyperbaric clinic in Arizona. It's going to saturate all your bodily fluids, your tissues, and your blood plasma. It's going to get oxygen to where red blood cells can't get to anymore through damage, disease, poor vascular structure. It's going to boost your immune system. It's going to create angiogenesis, which is regrowth of vascular structure. It's going to promote collagen growth, which is good for skin, hair luster, and bone growth. It's going to mobilize stem cells, which is the base of healing, decrease edema, which is doing all the damage in your body, and the newest study out of Israel says it lengthens telomeres, which is reversing the aging process. So everyone needs hyperbarics, and they don't even know they need it yet.
So we're at Eminent Wellness. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona with Mark Cottom, founder, who was with us over this great, incredible weekend.
Awesome
complete
weekend.
circle of care. So we're here at his facility right now learning about what he's doing to really change people's lives. And he's the real deal. He's so knowledgeable, so passionate. So again, if you're in Scottsdale, you got to check him out. But Muscle Fitness Plus, we're bringing the best of the best to you. Okay, cool. So that'll be one more clip.
Got it. This is our cryo chamber. This is going to have an innate response by pulling all the blood to center mass. That pump is going to bring fresh blood to damaged areas. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Same thing with the body. It's going to mobilize stem cells, decrease edema, strengthen your immune system. It's going to create collagen production, accelerate muscle recovery time, boost performance, and each session is burning calories, 500 to 700 calories per session. PMF mat. This is going to also have pulse electromagnetic frequency. It's going to have a grounding effect. It's going to boost the immune system. It'll calm the nervous system. But combined with our BrainTap and our compression boots, we're having amazing results.
Ryan today, and part of the Eminent Wellness team here, and I'm talking about the saunas that we have here. We have a sun-lightened sauna here that uses different chromotherapies, but really the medical grade sauna that we're using here is the relax saunas. Now these saunas, your head is out, there's a chair, you can take the chair out so you can sit down. You actually take the generators out as well to place on your yoga blocks to make your hot yoga session. Put them at your feet if you've got neuropathy or sore feet. The generators in here are what's magic. Now those generators, the relax sauna generators, are patented in 4 countries. We're the only ones who can produce a unique type of light that's around the same frequency that the human cell naturally resonates by. Because of that, other light therapies go millimeters into the skin, we go inches into the skin. We're going 1.5 inches into the body to actually hit the bone, vibrate and resonate the cells, warming you up from the inside out. So because it's that tight band of light, we can have it more intense. That intensity not only makes it go deeper, but it has this really interesting effect, where within 2 to 4 minutes, we get parasympathetic response. Within 4 to 6 minutes, the anti-inflammatory systems start kicking in. Within 6 to 8 minutes, heat shock proteins are starting to be created. Detoxification systems are beginning. As Mark mentioned, the cardiovascular structure starts opening up. So by opening up the cardiovascular structure, oxygenating the blood, reducing nervous tension, muscle tension, tightness, and pain in the first 6 to 8 minutes without actually sweating. It's a fantastic way just to warm somebody up, get their body flowing. But now 20 minutes in here is equal to a 3-mile jog, but actually lowers blood pressure. This is the only sauna that's actually proven medically to lower blood pressure as opposed to raise it. So there's a lot to talk about here, but it's all just the beauty of the sun. The sun's given us so much. We learned how to isolate. It took 10 years to figure out how to isolate just this one type band of light. And then the silver tint, the lining in the tent, bounces that light all around you. So whereas other saunas, like the sun light in here, as you can see, has panels on it. Those panels aim the light at your body. Versus in here, the generators are at the feet and it aims the light all around the inside of the tent. So you're sunbathing 360 degrees in that loving band of light, getting it in your lymphatic system, getting it in your viscera, in your organs, not just on your arms, backs, legs, or side. So it ends up being a wildly beneficial treatment. In as little as 20 minutes, you're exercising, relaxing, digesting better, everything happens more smoothly, naturally.
So our relax saunas are going to heat up your core temperature 3 degrees in 25 minutes, detoxifying on a cellular level, getting rid of metabolic waste, and having a boost of the immune system. It's going to increase blood flow, decrease edema, and mobilize stem cells. We here at Eminent Wellness have put together a whole bunch of cheat codes for athletes, for sick and injured. We have the Phoenix Coyotes, we have the Arizona Cardinals, we have UFC fighters. But some of the other modalities that we have OZone, we have vibration tables that I can use for strengthening, conditioning, stretching, massage, and healing. We have Rife generators. We have terahertz. We have IVs, so you can get all your IVs, including NAD. We're giving the body what it needs to operate correctly so the body can take care of itself. Looking forward to being a part of your healing and wellness journey.